In this video, we will add ready-made content to our lesson in Smart Learning Suite Online. So for this example, I've already started one page for my students. It's telling them the objective of the lesson. Next, I'm going to click on the blue plus sign in the bottom left-hand corner. And now I have my Add Content panel. And I'm going to choose Activating Prior Knowledge right under Ready-Made Resources. When I click on Activating Prior Knowledge, I have access to shouted out activities, such as a KWLQ chart, where I could gather some information from my students on what they know, what they want to know, what they learned, and questions they still have about the topic. I could also have my students contribute to a shouted out, asking, what do you want to learn about the topic, or what do you want to know? Response is another ready-made activity where I could give my students a statement that connects with our learning today and ask them if it is true or false to gather some information from my students before we begin a new lesson. Note, the shouted out and response activities need to be run during live synchronous lessons when I'm meeting with my students. I also have some handout options that I can create and share with my students during synchronous lessons or during asynchronous lessons for my students to work independently. One option I have is an entrance ticket, where students could add to this handout. They could add text, images, maybe even add some ink to show what they know about the topic. I could also have my students draw what they know about the topic. They have a great inking tool that they can use where they can add their ideas just right to the page. For the purpose of this lesson, I'm going to choose the entrance ticket. If I click to preview, I can see this entrance ticket for my students to engage in, where they can explain what they know about the topic. Note, all of my tools are not present until I click Finish Editing on my lesson. I can click and I can rename where it says entrance ticket, and I could add some more information. Tell what you know about frogs. All right, great. Now, something else I can add to this page is recorded sound, where I could give my students some further directions on how I would like them to complete this page. You can learn more about recording sound in other videos on ready-made content. For now, I'll click Finish Editing. And now I'm in lesson delivery mode. I can have my students come into page 2, and their entrance ticket is right here. Tell what you know about frogs. I can click and view student progress, and my students page will look just like this. I can view my teacher version of the handout, where students can add ink. They can add images. So maybe they would want to find images of frogs or tadpoles, and they can add that right to the page. I can model for my students how to engage with this page. I can also share this page with my students to complete on their own. Frog starts as a tadpole. So my students can add images and text right to the page. And that's how they would engage in this ready-made handout.